Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Me and my partner William are two high school students in Year 9, currently at Corfu Grammar, and we're trying to raise awareness of thalassemia. And in doing this, we thought we would interview a few people who have lived with thalassemia to see their life experiences and how it has affected them and what they think of thalassemia and how we can support it.
Okay.
Start off, how has your experience of living with thalassemia been since childhood?
Okay. To be honest, it does not affect my day-to-day life because I'm a Thalassemia Minor or beta Thalassemia Minor in more medical terms. So for me, other than few times, it does not make a difference.
Okay.
Yes. Despite having thalassemia, how do you maintain a positive outlook on life despite having it?
As it does not affect my day-to-day life, so it is, here for me. At times I don't even remember that I have it. If it was affecting my day-to-day life, especially with people who have Thalassemia Major, otherwise it's all good. You just learn. Maybe I've learned to live with it.
Okay. And you mentioned at the start that you don't really have, it hasn't really affected. Have you had any challenges in particular? Or has it just been nothing?
So, there are a few challenges. If I get the blood test done, I've been told to ensure I check my levels. Because if they just check my hemoglobin, they would just, doctors might assume that I am iron deficient because of low hemoglobin, but that's not necessary. My iron levels or ferritin level would still be okay, but my hemoglobin would be low. That is important things, is not let too much blood loss happen.
Okay.
Because on average, a woman's hemoglobin should be 12. Mine stands at 9. If it drops further, if there's blood loss, I've been told it can be an emergency. So that's why I just have to, there's a card that was given to me in UK. I had to carry it, but to carry it in my wallet. But nothing was given to me in Australia. I don't think there's much awareness. But and just have to be a bit mindful during my menstrual cycle.
Okay, and when researching beta Thalassemia Minor and also Thalassemia Major, we learned that it can also cause iron deficiencies. Have you had any correlation with iron deficiency?
Yes. Recently, my ferritin level or iron levels were pretty low. I had to get iron transfusion done. It could have correlated due to thalassemia. I don't know.
Okay. And so you had to get an iron transfusion for that?
Yes.
Okay. And despite this, you were mentioning as well that you got a card in UK, being Thalassemia Minor, in case you have major blood loss and your hemoglobin goes. Do you feel like the reason you don't get that in Australia is because not many people know about it?
Yes, I feel that. In UK, there was awareness. When I was pregnant with my first child, I was told that, because I'm a minor, they would do a special test when I was pregnant to ensure baby is not my Thalassemia Major. After my son was born, they also did a test for him by default.
Yeah.
But Australia, we had to request this privately. It was not in the medical system to happen or for them to take my history. Or even many times doctors don't even know, or my other medical staff don't know what is thalassemia.
Do you feel like this could be very impactful for those who may not even know they have thalassemia minor and could even like give thalassemia major to their kids?
Yes, and I think like in India back in the days, there was no awareness. I know many thalassemia major people. I was aware. I knew I was a thalassemia minor, so I made sure that when I got married, before having kids, my husband got tested to ensure it's not passed on to kids. Similarly, we did, kids were tested to ensure. So there are chances. In South Asia, it is a lot of people thalassemia minor. Unknowingly, 2 minors can get married and have a major. And I don't even know if there are any treatments available here.
Yeah. So about the treatment, we've researched it, and there's nothing really treatment that's been there for thalassemia. You can have slight correlations like you have with hemoglobin, and then with thalassemia major, the only treatment is constant blood transfusion.
I know, I mean, that's the only treatment, but in the sense that because my cousin in India had thalassemia major, so we are more aware than other people as to, I remember how things are right now or what's the latest technology, but I remember maybe 35, 40 years back when she needed iron transfusion every 2 weeks and she had to put a pump that blood in her body. But what it is now, I don't know. And also, I currently work in a mental health company. I don't think there is much awareness of how this can impact people who are with thalassemia major.
Hi. What do you think is the most important thing for the general public to understand about living with thalassemia?
I think the main thing they need to understand is it's a disorder, not a disease.
Yeah.
Especially thalassemia minor. It is important for them to be aware of, like for my kids, one of my son is not a thalassemia carrier at all. Other one is. So it's my duty as a parent to make sure when he grows up, whoever he's getting married to are aware of this thing. But if I myself had no idea that I am a thalassemia minor, it would have gone ahead.
Okay. So, you think that the more people who know about thalassemia, the better?
Yeah, the more people they know, there are less chances of having a major, thalassemia major. There are, a lot of like IVFs and things like that where they can check even before baby is conceived. So that will give couples secondary options. It is not easy to live with thalassemia major. I'll be really, really honest. I don't know what complications are with minor later on in life, but most of my mom's family have thalassemia minor, and whoever is in their 70, it is a blood disorder, so they have had some or the other issue. But whether it's related to thalassemia minor, we don't know. Because there's not much research as such into it.
All right. And so let's say someone thinks they have thalassemia, would you recommend that people who have a doubt, like someone has strangely low iron levels or hemoglobin levels, and the doctor can't really point it out, would you recommend going for a test? Because you mentioned that a few medical professionals don't even know about thalassemia.
Yes, that's true. It is definitely advisable to get tested from South Asian background. To me, even in a regular blood test, that's happened with me in UK, regular blood test, they felt my hemoglobin was low. They started me on iron, and I started having side effects of having too much iron because I was not iron deficient. When I went back to another GP, they said, okay, I told them I said, side effects of iron tablets. That's when he looked into my history and he said, okay, let us check if your iron levels are low or not. It wasn't low.
Okay.
Excessive iron intake was given to me without even knowing the true reason. If the doctor was aware of that thing, he would have made sure everything is checked.
Yeah. And did those tablets, did they have some detrimental side effects, or was it minor side effects?
They were minor side effects at that time, which generally but why even go through a simple side effect when you're not even deficient?
Yeah.
He was actually saying that if my hemoglobin does not increase in 2 months by taking those tablets, he would send me for iron infusion. Imagine if I would have got, iron infusion it's just directly into your bloodstream. It would have caused major issues.
I think for us it's pretty shocking to hear that someone like a doctor doesn't even know about thalassemia. And that's really why we wanted to make this project. The community we're working is a non-for-profit called Thalassemia and Sickle Cell Australia. Okay. They work with thalassemia and they go and do talks at various schools. And we decided to partner with them because they've been an organization for a long time. Okay. And we feel like they've done a really good job at raising awareness.
But see, it's not just about awareness. Medicare does a lot of when kids are born.
Sorry, your voice went out. What did you say before Medicare?
I said it's not just about awareness. Medicare as a system should have, this is just my opinion. When my younger one was born here, they did not test him. Okay, they just said, if there are any signs, we will test. But babies get tested for other stuff. They could have tested him. Yeah. We found out because we were seeing a pediatrician for his allergies separately. The pediatrician got general blood test done, and that's when it was picked up. This is something which can be done on birth, should be done, because if there's any child who has, thalassemia major, as a baby, parents should be aware. There are less chances to have it if only one parent is minor, but there's still chances. Yeah. So my preference would be anybody coming from South Asian background, Medicare should give them an option to get the child, newborn baby, tested.
Yeah. Just a question. Did you notify Medicare that you had thalassemia?
Yes. Not Medicare. On my medical records. They also, when anybody who gets pregnant from South Asian, I feel if they should ask question. Do you know if you are thalassemia minor? anybody in your family? That question has never been asked. At least not when I was pregnant. I don't know how things are right now.
You mentioned that your youngest son didn't get tested. What about your older son? Was he tested?
In UK, yes.
Okay.
Because I had it, so they said we will test the baby, I think day 2 of when he was born. So that's the medical system there.
Yeah.
In Australia.
So have you kind of felt that the awareness of like even the medical system has been more in UK and I'm assuming European countries than Australia?
Yeah. See, definitely maybe because they have South Asian people in living there, but I think there's the equal number of South Asians in Australia now. So people moving here, it's a good country to live in. There are certain things that they should just include it in the system.
I think I also agree with you. A government system as big as Medicare, they handle all the public health for 26 million people. I think they should also test it. I think William also had a question to ask.
They don't have to test everybody, but at least take history, and if parents know one of them are minor, then test it. If parents don't know anything about it and they're from South Asian background, just test the parents. There's so many blood tests that happen in pregnancy. Just another blood test won't harm.
Alright. I think William had a question to ask. William, are you there?
Would you like to share a memorable experience or story related to your journey with thalassemia?
It is definitely with my cousin. She is 2 years younger to me, and I have seen her not just struggling physically, mentally. It is not nice. It has. She has been a very, very smiling, happy person, but there are things that she could not do. That is something I really feel bad for. I feel I'm lucky not to have that, but I feel bad for her. My life, like I said, day-to-day life does not get affected. It, at least currently, in last 44 years of my life, nothing major has happened. That would remind me. I do know that I once had colitis. I was in hospital. They just had to make sure, because I was having that the blood transfusion was given to me as soon as possible. But other than that, there's nothing compared to a life of a thalassemia major. It is very hard going to hospital when you grow up. It's sometimes twice a week. It is not with complications like that. Things. So I really, really feel the more awareness it is, the more people will try and avoid these things. And I will tell you a story. Similar awareness. I was in India, we were doing it, maybe 20 years back. I met a pregnant lady who said, yes, she's a thalassemia minor. Just a question, did you get your husband tested? She said, no, we'll see how it. I felt bad that what the husband was minor and the baby would be major. Unless people see their loved one going through it or they go through themselves, it's very difficult to imagine.
Okay.
I hope I answered your question, Will.
Thanks.
Yeah. I think William has a few more questions.
Yeah.
Is there anything you wish you would have known earlier about managing thalassemia?
See, I got to know about managing thalassemia, I think, when I was in my mid-25. Before, I did not understand why I feel lightheaded during my menstrual cycle, or why people would say I look yellow, pale. I'm like, okay, I know why I look pale. But when I look at why this is, then it's easier to accept it, live with it. So I think if I knew what it is, I still don't understand all the white cells, red blood cells. But before that, it was nothing. I had no idea. I just knew it, that yes, I'm a Thalassemia minor. I have to be careful if I get pregnant. That's all I knew.
Okay. We have just 2-3 more questions, and then you can go back to doing what you were doing. I think, William has the rest of the questions. You brainstormed it. Yeah.
What advice would you give?
Think
What advice would you give to someone newly diagnosed with thalassemia?
I would say you should know everything about it. Do's and don'ts, and try and if you are ever planning a family, just make sure your partner is not a Thalassemia minor.
Okay.
Understand what it is rather than imagining. Like, I never understood why I was feeling low or why I was low on energy at certain times.
Yep.
After knowing what the reason was, it's easier to accept and say, okay, this is the reason. Maybe extra water or, anything else, or take life, maybe slow down for those 3-4 days.
Yeah.
Yep. Have you also been involved in any sort of thalassemia advocacy campaigns or support groups?
Back in India, I was, but this I'm talking about maybe 2001 or 2. It is so my cousin, who is a thalassemia major, she was a part of Thalassemia awareness group, and we always used to go with her. There was a thalassemia stall to go with her, but outside India, no. Also in Australia, actually, like I said, nobody knows what thalassemia is. Unless you're a specialist.
Okay. And do you feel thalassemia has impacted your mental health in any way?
No. I think only time it but I don't know if it was thalassemia or just general iron deficiency, I would feel very exhausted and low. It was just, just all I'm iron deficient. The moment I got that iron infusion, then I felt sudden energy inside me. But other than that, I've never had any issues as such. It has not affected my mental health. But yes, when you talk to my cousin, it has affected her mental health.
Okay. Just the last question to wrap it up. What do you feel me and William can do to try and advocate and raise awareness for thalassemia as a part of our school project?
Major thing will be making awareness in South Asian community. whether handing out pamphlets or anything, wherever there are Diwali events, Holi or anything happening. And also hospitals should have, like they have, pamphlets of diabetes and all that, just display certain. I might go to a hospital, look at thalassemia poster. If I don't know, I'll Google. And then it reminds me, okay, then it's worth getting tested.
Okay. So sort of like the cancer pamphlets you can see.
Yeah.
All right.
Just pamphlets, posters, because it's just human tendency that when you don't know what the word means, you tend to Google.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. And other things would be coming into the Medicare system, trying to make it compulsory for doctors or clinicians who are dealing with pregnant ladies to check if they are Thalassemia Minor. If they're not aware, get a blood test done. So I think you guys can prepare a detailed report or your suggestions and submit it to Department of Health if you can.
Yeah. We'll take your advice. We'll try to go to any Asian and South Asian gatherings. Try and contact as many nearby hospitals and do the best we can to raise awareness.
See, public hospitals in South Asian, any area, any public hospital.
Yeah.
You can just go there and, make awareness or put pamphlets out there.
Yeah. I think if we will try best for hospitals and GP clinics.
GP clinic, definitely.
Yeah.
And I would say, if you can speak to a GP, check what their view is, how much they are informed about this.
Okay.
Perfect.
Thank you for your time. If you ever get time,
Thank you.